Alright everybody, so today we have a Plat 2 Soldier 76 on Route 66. This player says, after almost a full hold first point, enemy ended up pushing almost through third. Twice my team failed to close out a fight that was already sure enough won. Allow the enemy team to come back into the game. Don't feel like I deserve to lose this. 40 plus limbs, team captivating. And so I do want to mention, I have already watched this VOD through. And this player is playing very well in this match, well above the Plat 2 level at least. But they're asking what more can they do, to take a game like this that should have been a win and secure it. And so that's what we're going to be looking at today, is what more can this player do. So we're starting off pretty good, right? Soldiers on the high ground, which is where you want to be. And you also have this mercy pocket on you. So your damage is going to be pretty strong. You're going up against Junker Queen, who can't really touch you, but the DPS can both contest you if they choose to, right? And so this is a pretty good spot to play. You have some cover to get behind if you need it. And the great thing about high ground, right, is that you can always just back up and you kind of go into cover naturally, right? Because they can't see you here. And I already noticed one thing, nothing too crazy, right? But I feel like you're just shooting whatever you see in front of you, instead of maybe more deliberately picking your targets, right? So you spray this Mercy pretty weak, and then Mercy's 1 HP, and you kind of just forget about it, right? So, right now she's hiding, healing, whatever, but she did fly across this gap with 1 HP. Maybe you would have been able to get her there. Right? And then later here she is again, right? But again, nothing too serious. I don't really like the drop here. You will get this on a kill, which is great, but no one was really pushing you off the high ground, right? So you really had no reason, at least at that point, to leave high ground. And again, target priority maybe needs a little bit of work. Mercy res literally right in front of you. Right, I mean, it is what it is. You guys have already won this fight. Mercy's 1 HP above you. So first of all, the thing I'm seeing the most is your awareness, right, of who you need to be shooting and like why you need to be shooting them. But your mechanics look really good, right? Your aim is good. You're hitting your shots. And your positioning is pretty decent for the most part so far. I like this a lot more. And you find a good kill here. And yeah, this is all great. Right here, you've already won the fight for your team, right? As long as you stay alive. So they have, they're down their DPS. They're down Mercy. This Sojourn is about to die, and he has no slide. So he really has no way to threaten you anymore. You can always just back up. Your healing station comes back in 5 seconds, or you can just get some heals from your Mercy, who is trying to get to you. Right, so this fight's already won. And you did that. You got those kills. Alright, so you pop the visor, and you get the kills, but in my mind, this visor is completely wasted, right? Honestly, completely wasted. This fight was already won. You definitely didn't need visor to kill this Sojourn. And that would have put you up 2 players, or 3 players already. I mean, you're already up 2 players when you use this. Shooting the Sojourn once more would have put you up 3 players, right? But you pop the visor. You get the kill, then you jump down. You already have the Mercy on you, right? So you win the fight, but you did waste your ult, and your ult is really, really good into their comp, right? They have no shield, and Junker Queen is really terrible at contesting you. So you really have nothing that's going to shut you down during your ult. They have no defensive ultimate, right? I mean, your ult could almost be said as like, it's just almost a free teamfight win if you put yourself in the right spot, especially if Mercy gets to you. So wasting your ult here could be something that'll bite you in the future, but of course we'll see. you decide to stay on the low ground, I would prefer if you're on the high ground, but you know, it's not the end of the world. Three-man lift. You focus the people in the lift. Great. This fight's also already over. You just need to make sure that you don't want anyone on your team to be staggering here. Okay, you I guess you're getting out of line of sight of the Sojourn. Just fine. You should have spent that time repositioning a little better, but you end up where you need to be. This is fine. And this is the second time I want to note that you've put your heal down before you ever start shooting. I get it. Maybe you think you're gonna have a lot of incoming damage, so you put it down. But you want to make sure you're not wasting your heal, right? Your heal allows you to maintain these power positions. And let's say like you don't get value out of this heal, and then they start pushing you off. You have no way to stay up here, and then you'll get pushed off this high ground. And you really want to just sit up here and be spraying on their team. So I don't like how you're using the heal super early every fight, but just carry on. And in this case, you get pressured off through the heal. That's a good kill. It's good to focus the Mercy. You don't get the kill, but right, the idea was there that you're focusing the Resi Mercy. Perfect. And that is a great kill on the Ana. And a couple things to say here, right? You get the visor. And you're in a pretty great spot for your visor, right? So you are on the high ground. You know, Mercy is in the area, at least to damage boosts. You get this free kill, and then you jump down, right? And this is where it goes wrong. So you jump down when there's really no reason, right? So if you're not going to get like better angles on the ground, right? And I think this happens a lot with soldiers, right? Maybe they just get adrenaline or something, and they, you know, just got to get in there. But even if you're like up here, you're getting the same angle. I mean, you're shooting the same people, right? And so you could hit the McCree with your ult. You could hit the Junker Queen. You can't hit the Mercy, and I guess that's what you're going for, right? You want the Mercy, but you jump down before you ever look at where the Mercy is. So in my mind, you're just jumping down to jump down. You're not really thinking too much about this. And if you stay on the high ground here, you could actually stay up here. You could get this kill on this McCree. You could maybe get the Mercy if she walks out. But down here, it's going to be a lot harder, and as you saw. You focus out, and here you even have Helix, right? So I know you're trying to use this visor, but you have plenty of time to get that Helix off, and that would finish the Mercy kill. So, you know, even when you jump down, that was a kill you could get. I need to say one more time, right? This isn't, you know, that you're like a bad player or you're making bad decisions. You play very well in this match, and you get a lot of kills that contribute, you know, to a lot of teamfight wins. But we're just here to take it to the next level, right? What more can you do, you know, to take control over these games? And right here specifically, you have this great ult, but then you jump down right in front of them, and you get, you get punished for it. And the higher up you go, the more you'll get punished for it. So when you can stay on that high ground where you're safe, you should stay on that high ground. Maybe you could have gotten, you know, 1 or 2 more kills here, stay alive. The Reaper goes down. There's the heal station again. So, you know, no one's even looking at you this time. You don't have it if you need it. And you die here, but your tank and your Mercy were already gone. This fight was probably already over. And keep in mind, they both died while you were repositioning, so
if I'm still standing, I'm still
it's, you know, not the best for you, but you weren't actively in the fight when they even died, so. I guess you jumped down for Kitsune Rush, right? But you know, when you came in, this high ground's free. No one's up here, right? So when you get here, let's just go for it a little bit. I mean, this is free. This high ground's totally free, and when you're up here, it is just such a power position, right? So, I mean, you have everything at your disposal, and of course, you might get pressured off here. There's a lot of them, and I guess you come down for the Kitsune Rush, which is okay. You know, playing the Kitsune Rush is great, but just I mean, you're up here. You get to helix whoever you want. You can back off and, you know, pop your hero station if you need it. It's better to just stay up here, but. You hit a very nice helix rocket. I do feel like you're a little lost on who you want to be shooting here. It's going to be really hard to take down that ulti Mercy solo. You almost get it, to your credit, but there's probably more effective targets to focus. You die here, but it's not the end of the world. The rest of your team pretty much already died. So you've lost first point, and I do want to say that that fight when you jumped down with Tac Visor could have been the difference maker, right? You know, if you had stayed on high ground, killed that McCree with Tac Visor, and stayed alive, that might be all it would have taken to close out this game. McCree outduels you. To be fair, he has a Mercy pocket, but you know, you come into this duel with half your ammo. And you do miss, you know, a lot of shots here, right? So here's the thing, right? I'm not going to teach mechanics because mechanics is just something you have and you can practice and get better. And your mechanics are actually pretty good, right? But in a, you know, in an aim duel like this, it is super important that you're, you know, hitting those shots, right? So here you just lose this duel. Of course, you know, it's a little supported for him, but you're both 200 HP, right? And you land a nice helix, and you just can't close out this kill. And then that's it for this fight. Your Mercy dies, and then I'm just gonna assume the rest of your team gets cleaned up.
Get away with this.
They're actually still out there, but
It's deployed.
I'm not going to mention it too much more, but you're in this habit where, you know, as soon as you peek, you throw this down, and I think that's a pretty bad habit for you to get into. I think you need to focus on not getting, you know, not making this a habit. The only time you should be preemptively throwing your heal station down is when you're about to Tac Visor. You know, you throw heal station, you immediately Tac Visor, it cancels the animation, and then you go crazy. You don't have to worry about putting it down mid visor. You have a really good visor. Again, I'm not sure why you're jumping down here. Right? Okay, good. Good.
Effect on hostiles.
I guess so, like, right now you're thinking, you know, you can't see anybody, so you're gonna jump down, but, you know, there they are, right? Yeah, oh no, you actually do see them while you're still on the high ground. So yeah, I'm not sure why we're jumping down here. And notice how you don't have your heal station right now because you threw it out when you walked out. And now you don't have it when you need it, right? Imagine if you have it here. I'm not saying you'll live, but I'm saying you have a better chance, you know. And so you're gonna die here. Who knows what even happens this fight? Not sure. Looks like your team does hold this one. And you get another fight here. But again, if your team had lost this fight, you know, maybe you could have done more of that fight. If you hadn't jumped down with Tac Visor, if you had your heal when you needed it. You're getting in some good damage here. Very nice pick off. Should be careful of res. Right, and you're putting in some work here. This is what you want to do. And that is, you know, a fantastic tool. You're strafing, you're hitting your shots. You actually had Helix. You didn't even end up needing to use it, right? But you have your heal station down. And, you know, if we watch this from the Sojourn's perspective, right? Of course, it's just an aim build. But I'm just going to show you what it looks like for her. You're strafing, you're in your heal, and you win the duel. Awesome. Great. Like, high impact play right here. And that is a fantastic kill. And you've pretty much already won this team fight for your team, right? You are putting in the work. It's last fight. You get your visor. And this should be the closer, right? So I've already seen this. I know it happens. But this visor should close it out. You've got McCree or Cassidy. And you've got a Tracer right in front of you. You also have a Junker Queen, right? And this should just tear through him. You get one. This is the one time I think jumping down makes sense, right? Because you're not going to be able to hit them if you know where the only two people left are. And you know if you don't jump down, you're not going to be able to do anything about this. I will note that you have Helix Rocket here, and you know where this Tracer is, and you could finish this kill with the Helix, but you know you're in visor, you're probably not thinking about it. You do use it, but it's too late. And then you lose the Tracer, right? The Tracer's not over here. I think she recalled, right? So... Nope. You're doing your best. It's definitely easiest to close that out with your Helix Rocket, right? So I don't know if you know this. Your Helix Rocket does 120, your melee does 30. If you get right up in a Tracer's face and you Helix plus right click, it will insta-kill her, right? And so that's how you want to finish that off. You actually have a couple chances here to kill out this stall, just Helixing the ground, right? So there's a, you know, hitting one shot or Helixing the ground takes this Tracer out, and then your whole team can focus the Junker Queen. It probably cinch this, but as the fight goes on, your team doesn't really have any focus fire, and you're not able to, you know, get any kills on your own as well, which lets their whole team come back, and you end up in a 5v5, which is just not what you want, right? You had it at a 5v2 or a 4v2, and now you're in a 5v5. So he gets a huge lift, and we're just not able to close out any kills. So I would prefer for you to be on the high ground here, but in that fight, for what it is, you know, just not, you're either not hitting enough, you know, not finishing enough kills. That's kind of a whole team thing, right? But you're the DPS, right? You need to be able to close out these kills. So maybe could have had a bit more impact on that fight. Maybe could have been positioned a little bit better.
That one's confirmed.
For what it's worth, that fight was won, right? When you popped that visor, should have been the end of the fight. So you got Tracer's recall out, which means any health you take off of Tracer after that recall's gone is permanent, right? Because she didn't have any healers there. And so you got to finish out that Tracer kill, which leaves everybody to focus on Junker Queen, and it would have been over again. But that's obviously not how it goes. And now we have to fight on the third point. I guess they're looking for like an angle here, but the fight ends while you're running away, so. Like at this point, you're only down one. You know, and you don't have a great angle, but it's not like you know, going over here is not gonna, you know, it's not gonna win the fight for you, right? You know, you have to spend time running, and they're probably just gonna run away from there anyways, right? So you need to either stay up here and keep spraying down, or maybe even, you know, for once jump down if you can't see anybody. You can even come down here, right? And you have this. This is a risky angle, right? But, you know, you gotta find value. Instead, you run away. And while you're running away till your team dies, this fight's over, right? Almost died there, and your healing thing has been really funny. That's because you're not in line of sight of this. It's weird how this thing works, right? But if you aren't in line of sight of this object, then it's not going to heal you. So you're right here, the boxes are blocking off the healing. That's why you're not getting healing there. Like, but if you stand on top of here, right, it'll heal you. So yeah, that's how that interaction was working. You get the health pack and you actually get out here. Good visor. I'm gonna say the same exact thing. Why are we jumping down? Right? You still have people you can shoot at, so you get your kill. Moira has used her fade, right? She is out of fade. There is no, like, she cannot escape you. And if you're up here, there's less people that can shoot you, right? So you can take cover a lot better up top than you can down low. But you jump down. Finish off the kill, which is good. And you guys actually do, you know, close this one out. Let's see, I can't remember if there is another fight here. It looks like there will be able to touch, right? They have a Lucio. Yep. I would love if you were on the high ground right now. But you're doing your job down here anyways, right? And so you guys close this first round out. And for a little recap of the first round, what I'm going to say is that you're playing very well, and you're winning a lot of these fights for your team, and that is fantastic. But it could be better, right? You know, you stay on the high ground during your ult and not wasting your heals, so that you have heals when you need them, and being able to close out these kills, right? So when you land that good helix on the McCree, being able to close out that kill, or when you land you know, a couple shots on the tracer, being able to hit that helix rocket to close out that kill, those are the difference makers in these fights, right? So you're already putting in a ton of work. You know, really, you're doing great, but if you're just able to close out these fights a little bit better, this game would have been over on first point, right? And first point wasn't even mechanics, right? If you just hadn't jumped down here at this first fight, and it has already happened, right? But if you had just stayed on high ground here, you get this McCree. You know, you might get this Mercy, and you get to light up this Drunkard Queen. Your Mercy doesn't have to res, and this is just, you know, a really, really good fight for you. And it's probably over here, right? They die, they have 30 seconds left, maybe they get another fight, but you end up losing this specific fight. Your Mercy comes over, has to res you, and then your team dies while you reposition. So it could have been over here, and this is just a decision, right? You know, just stay on high ground. So those are the biggest things I've seen. But overall, your play is very good, right? I don't think this is a Plat 2 soldier gameplay. And he did mention that, let me see here. You did mention that you were in Diamond and you even peaked Masters in Overwatch 1. And I believe it. This is console gameplay, but you know, it's pretty good. You just have some things that you need to clean up a little bit, but overall, you're playing really well. Alright. Second round, we are still on Soldier. We are ready to go. Right, that was good. You get some help from your team. And that Reaper faded out your Helix, so he actually outplayed you there, but your Kiri comes in and helps you. You waste your heal. And good kill on that Ana. And you're gonna clean up here, right? You've been doing really good at this. In these fights, you are making the difference. Alright, so your monkey is dead before the fight starts, which is gonna make this way harder for you. Way harder. You miss your Helix. And because of that, the Moira lives. And because you missed that Helix, right? And this is just a mechanics thing, you know, it happens, but if you get that kill there, Moira can't go and kill 2 of your team. So Moira ends up killing 2 of your team, and this fight's over, right? And realistically, this fight is on your monkey. He went in and just completely fed his brains out before the fight ever happened. But there is, you know, a little bit extra that you could be doing. You know, it also would have been good, you know, if you were on the high ground there. There's a ton of high ground on that point. It would have gave you, you know, a better angle. But you played pretty well. Just that one more shot, you could have closed that out. Who knows? The monkey's trying his best to die again. He doesn't quite get there. And this is good. Going up on the high ground for your ult. And you pop this heal before. This is good. This is exactly what you should see. And this should just win you the fight, right? You know, they don't really have too much to take care of this. You only end up picking up 1 kill. Very surprising. I think if your target, you know, target priority is a little bit better here, you can pick up more than 1. You do get javelin. Great play by the Orisa, but if you just focus on 1 person during this, I mean, you'll take out 1 and then 2. You start the soldier, and then you switch to the, you know, you hit the Orisa once or twice, and then back to the soldier. And he gets away. But you still get a kill here. And you jump down, right? And you might even die because of it. So if you were still on the high ground, you're a lot safer than you are right now. That's good. You guys end up winning the fight. Again, you know, I don't really see the reason to jump off the high ground there, but it works out. You pick up a couple kills, a lot of damage, and they weren't able to punish you for jumping down. Oh no. Your monkey feeds, and your Mercy tries her best to die there, but you're back to a 5v5, right? So this fight could go anyone's way. And a little indecisive. Oh, it would have been sweet if you had picked up that kill, but... You spend a lot of that fight trying to figure out what you want to do, right? So you think about repositioning, you run back, and then you run a reposition. Land a couple shots to the Mercy, and then kind of think about where you want to run again, right? So you're leaving a little bit of value on the table. I hear the fight's already over, so... Let me check. Yeah, so your team just goes in before you ever get there. You're down 2. It's going to take a miracle to win, especially with Bob. And you recognize it, you get out. That's fine. You're making the right play here. You get out. You even let your Kiriko teleport to you. That's good. Good stuff. Coming up on another visor here. I hope you stay on the high ground this time. And that is a fantastic opening kill. Good awareness to know where the Mercy is. That was a pretty good fight for you. I think you have, you know, a couple dropped kills there during that visor, but that's just a little bit of awareness and mechanical skill. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think all in all, that was a good fight. Their soldier made a really good play to keep that Resi Mercy alive, which had a large impact on how that fight went. But you started off with the opening pick. It was really good. Your Mercy dies super early in this fight. Again, this is the second time she's done this. And you see the soldier come over and make the play, right? Saves his Mercy. And then you have a good visor here. You pop your heal before. This is all good. I think right there you can probably finish off that Ashe, you know, if you're looking in the right place and you're taking the right angle. But you go over to get this Mercy, and that's, you know, that's fine. It works out. So good fight from you. A couple small things you could have improved on, right? But overall, I think you're doing pretty much what you need to be doing here, right? You get that opening pick, you're putting in the work, you get a kill in visor. All this is fine. Your Genji is still dead here. You don't want to fight with 4 people. Hopefully your monkey doesn't jump in. Man, what even happened here? You guys just can't get a little overwhelmed here. They had a visor and they had a coalescence, and you were kind of smothered, not really able to play. There was a turret looking at you too. I think your positioning's a little off in that fight, but you fell down from the high ground. It happens. I think their whole team just outmaneuvered your whole team on that fight. Can't quite make it out of there. And your team's just kind of getting smothered at this point, including you. You know, you're all getting smothered. So there's not too much to even comment on what you can do here. They're kind of running your spawn. You kind of missed the clinch on that kill, but I don't think it really matters anymore, right? This game's probably already over. You guys get one more team fight. Hopefully you can farm up your visor in time. And you die trying to 1v1 the turret. There was also more orb, but you had all your cooldowns up. I believe you had all your cooldowns up. Okay, no Helix Rocket, right? But you have your heal. You could always just run away, right? And probably in the most important fight, the one that keeps you guys alive, or cements your loss, you die to the turret. And you put your team at a disadvantage. Yeah, and they're not exactly doing too well without you there. And that would have, you know, been even bigger because you could have got your visor this fight. Redemption. No redemption, right? So you're just smothered here. That's probably all she wrote. Yep. It's the end of the game. Alright, you played well. Let's go over what you should be focusing on to win the next one like this. Alright, so first of all, your positioning. you have room to improve here, right? So overall, your positioning is pretty good. You're playing at a pretty decent level, your soldier. But you are kind of panicking during your ult and jumping down when you don't need to be jumping down, right? So when you still have targets to look at, you should be on the high ground because it is just it's really oppressive when a soldier is up there. It's hard to get to him, especially that first round. They have Junker Queen, right? They have Mercy. They have these characters, you know, Cassidy, who can't get up there quickly to contest you. And so you should just stay up, right? Especially with soldiers, stay on the high ground. Just keep beaming them. If you get weak, you walk back and you use your heal. That brings us in the second thing, cooldown management. You still have a lot of room to improve here, right? You feels like you are wasting heal a lot. You know, it's like half of your heals were just you weren't really thinking about it. You just run out, you pop your heal down at full HP, and then you just start shooting. And then when you need that heal later, you don't have it. And these are probably the two biggest thing. I think your visors for the most part are pretty good. Obviously, we talked about positioning in the visors, but your ults are pretty good. Your mechanics are very good, especially for the plat level, right? And what I want to wrap this up by saying is that if you play at that level consistently, right, to where if that is how you are always playing, you will climb for sure, right? And so there's RNG in this game, so even, you know, great players sometimes have losing streaks, even if you're way above your elo. So one of the sayings I like, it's the 3-4-3 rule, right? So 3 are guaranteed wins, 3 are guaranteed losses, and these ones you decide, right? And so what this means is that if you are 100% better than your enemies, so every game that you decide you win, you still only have a 70% win rate, which means 3 out of every 10 games you're going to lose. And most people are not going to be able to win, you know, all 4 of their games that they can decide. They're not going to be able to do that. So even a 60% win rate, especially over like a large number of games, even a 60% win rate is really good. It's really good. If you have a 60% win rate, you're doing something right. But that still means you lose 2 out of every 5 games. And that means for every 5 games you play, you go up 1 game. So let's take the old Overwatch system. You play 5 and you go up 1. And so let's say that's 20 SR. You need to go up 500 SR for a rank, you know, if you want to go to Plat 2 to Diamond 2. You're playing 25, you need to do this 25 times, which means you need to play 125 matches to go up 1 full rank at a 60% win rate. That's a lot of matches, right? So it could be you're just not playing enough. It could be you're on a bad losing streak. It could be, you know, your win rate's not high enough to go up this quickly, right? So if you have a 55% win rate, it's going to be even slower than this. It's going to be like 200 matches or whatever the case may be. So, but I do want to end by saying your soldier's good, and if you continue to play at this level, you will see success. But you do have some areas to improve. So focus on that positioning, staying on the high ground, you know, using your heal properly, using that helix to finish out kills. And as always, if you're playing mechanically intense heroes, make sure you're working on your mechanics. Deathmatch is great. There's aim training in game. There's workshops for it. There's Kovacs out of game. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Good game.